Hi guys, Colleen from Walking the Resonant Path here. I just wanted to do my second movie review, Christmas movie review for this year. And I'm actually today reviewing the sequel of the one I reviewed yesterday. I found a sequel. So the one I reviewed yesterday was called Haul Out the Holly. And today's one is called Haul Out the Holly Lit Up. And that's the sequel to Haul Out the Holly. So once again, it starred the lovely Lacey Chabert as Emily and Wes Brown as Jared. So in the first movie, we saw them get together and fall in love, as we do in most Hallmark movies, and obviously with a Christmas theme. Now in this movie, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. And what the synopsis of this movie is that there's a vacant house in Evergreen, and as we know from the first movie, there's very strict rules about Christmas in Evergreen. How you have to decorate your porch and how high your nutcracker has to be and all of this stuff. So we see in the first scene the town having a meeting worried about who's going to move in and whether they will stick to the Christmas rules. But then they find out it's this this reality couple that does this celebrity show, this reality show, and they're a celebrity couple with their little boy, and they do a Christmas reality show. So they find out it's them, and then they're really excited. They're going, oh, well, of course, they'll be into our Christmas stuff. And so at first they're really, really excited these people are going to come, except Emily, who has no idea who these people are because she's not into that stuff, so she's got nothing. But Jared is a really big fan, and so he's all nervous and, worried about meeting them and all excited about meeting them. And these reality family are called the Jolly Johnsons. And now, when they come to their town, they go way, way over the top and make everything a big competition and make all the, people in the town start sort of fighting and disagreeing, and they just go over the top and they do annoying things like play their music all the way through the night really loudly, and they have, really high beam lights, all this stuff that makes the other people in the town sort of really annoyed, and it's not the way it's supposed to be in Evergreen. It's supposed to be this coming together of the community and, of the people. And what happens is that in the end, everybody gets really frustrated with them, especially Emily. And it's quite good because you actually see, because you usually see the warmth and pleasantness of Lacey Chabert, which I really like. This time you get to see a little bit of her feisty side, which is good. And her protecting her town and saying, hey, we've got to do something about this. And then in the end, her and Mrs. Johnson agree to these games where they're going to compete against each other for, if Emily wins, then they have to stick to the rules, and if Mrs. Johnson wins, she can do whatever she wants, decorate and be as noisy and whatever as she wants. So then they go, but they don't actually have this competition because in the end Emily goes, well, we're all supposed to be friends, I don't like this competing and all that. And Mrs. Johnson agrees, and everybody, of course, because it's a Hallmark movie, there's a happy ending, everybody ends up being friends. And for a sort of Hallmark, heartfelt moment, which we're all waiting for, Jared proposes to Emily. Now, while the film is, once again, overflowing with Christmas decorations, nutcrackers, Christmas music, all that sort of stuff, I felt like the actual Christmas magic of the movie was much thinner this time around. Many of the Christmas activities were just talked about. They weren't actually shown. And for me, you can't just talk about a Christmas activity like we're going to do this, or we're going to bake cookies, or we're going to have this cookie contest, or whatever. You actually have to show them doing it for me to feel like it's in the Christmas movie. So you lost some candy cane points for that. What I really did not like about this movie was the humour. Now, in the first movie, there was humour, and it was very charming and sweet, and it made me chuckle, and I really liked it. In this movie, they forced the humour in your face and went way over the top. And to me, that's not funny, and at times it can be very irritating. And so that really let down the whole movie for me. And in the first movie, I found Wes Brown as Jared quite charming and funny. But he didn't have that opportunity in this movie, and I actually found his character quite boring and a little bit simpering and not that charming. And once again, the characters of Emily and Jared I didn't find had any chemistry, except for in the last scene where he proposed, and then there was a little bit of chemistry, I will give them that. In the last scene was really lovely where he proposed, and I thought that was nice, and their chemistry was nice in that. But before that, there was none of that chemistry, so I didn't really like that. But my biggest problem was the over-the-top humour, and it really quite put me off this film. Despite those shortcomings, it does have some highlights, like all the Christmassy stuff, as I said, and there's a great snowball fight in the middle of town, which I really liked. I really liked that scene. And Jennifer Aspin, who plays Mrs. Johnson, I really like her as an actress, so I find her quite entertaining, so I liked her. As I said, I enjoyed seeing that more feisty side of Emily or Lacey Chabert. Um, and I really liked that there was actually more heartfeltness in this one than there was in the first one. I found the first one more humorous, but this one, had a little bit more heartfelt near the end. And actually, the last half an hour was the best part of the movie. If we could have just skipped the rest of the movie and got to the last half an hour, I would have been all right with it. But well, I didn't find this movie that great. Overall, I preferred the humour and the story of the first movie. But fans who don't mind in-your-face comedy and who just want that Christmas atmosphere still might give this festive one a watch. Now, yesterday's one got 99 candy canes, but sadly this one only gets 80 candy cane points. So that's the Haul Out the Holly sequel, Haul Out the Holly Lit Up, and that's 80 candy cane points. Well, I hope you have a glorious day and do whatever resonates within your soul. Bye now.